everyone has a family member, a friend, who has had cancer. I cannot think of a better use of public funds than to try to reduce the burden of a disease that has been devastating for so many families and individuals.
CPRIT makes an extraordinary difference in that it's the only state that has such a program.
CPRIT has been this amazing gift that Texas has given itself. This is Texans helping Texans. It's an amazing idea that was brought forward by some visionary people years ago that now, on two separate occasions, the state of Texas and the voters have decided that they think this is worthwhile, and it certainly has played out this far.
CPRIT is vitally important because it attracts some of the best minds in cancer to our state to help develop therapies. And when therapies are developed in the state of Texas, a lot of times they're studied in the state of Texas, and it ends up benefiting Texas patients.
CPRIT has been a catalyst to jumpstart a lot of activity that takes years to get moving forward.
Over $3 billion have been used and invested. It is on par, as far as I'm concerned, with the achievements of the National Cancer Institute in a very short time, that is from 2007, its inception, to 2023.
Without the support that CPRIT has provided across the whole continuum of cancer research, from prevention to early diagnosis and detection, to the development of new therapies, to survivorship, I think the landscape of cancer care and research in Texas would be dramatically different. The academic research program has a broad portfolio that spans basic laboratory research, through translational research, through clinical trials, and prevention research. CPRIT has enabled the recruitment of almost 300 eminent scientists to Texas.
We have an ongoing clinical trial looking at a novel drug therapy in patients with glioblastoma, the most common and unfortunately aggressive form of brain tumors. Unequivocally, this research would not be possible without CPRIT, and it changes people's lives.
The technology at OncoNano is really trying to target anti-cancer therapies to the tumors that will not affect the normal cells. And it does that by way of chemically created polymeric micelles, but then dissociates and drops the anti-cancer payload in the area of the tumor. Without funding mechanisms like CPRIT, and for us specifically CPRIT, it's really a critical element to keeping us going.
In my time on the CPRIT Oversight Committee, which is over 6 years now, I've seen a company get funded, produce research, be successful in that research, get approval for a drug, and put it on the market. And I've actually been able to treat 2 of my patients with that drug.
CPRIT funding saves lives, and so the opportunity to work with CPRIT in the prevention program, knowing that the work we're doing is resulting in actual vaccines given to children, we can see the impact. It's been wonderful, yeah. Childhood cancer survivors are at an increased risk for HPV-related cancers, and yet they're less likely to get vaccinated because often they don't go back to their pediatricians. They stay with their oncologist and get their treatment there, so they weren't having an opportunity for vaccination. When we started, about 15% of our childhood cancer survivors had gotten their full HPV vaccine, and now that is over 50%. And so the CPRIT grant has made a huge difference for these kids who were at great risk for HPV-related cancers. It couldn't have started without the CPRIT funding. We couldn't have gotten all these people on board to add another thing to their clinic schedule. With it, it's now part of their standard of care, and they're going to continue providing the vaccine to their patients.
That's how we are going to fix cancer. We're going to prevent it. And CPRIT is going to be a big part of that.
And I see CPRIT model being emulated across the world, actually. That's what I see. This investment is going to pay dividends in the overall care of humanity. And it's going to bring a sense of empathy and care which transcends, again, all socioeconomic statuses.
There's hope, and we see it every day. I think the momentum, the spark that CPRIT has given to this effort is going to pay dividends. We're paying this forward for future generations, and I just have no doubt that this is going to be one of the best things that the state of Texas has ever done.